the opening runs, and she'll cue me. Good evening and welcome to Tiki Hut Central. This is episode 7, and we are live Wednesday night from the Tiki Hut. I've got myself, I'm Ken Rose, your host, and I'd like to introduce my cohort over there. Who are you over there?
I'm Lisa Rose.
Excellent.
Good to see you guys.
We've got Lisa, and I've got a very special guest next to me tonight, Mr. Dave Colby. He is the current president and CEO of the South Lake Chamber of Commerce. Welcome to the show, Dave.
Thank you, Ken.
We've got, I'm sorry, are you talking over there already?
I said welcome.
Thank you very much.
We've got a lot to cover tonight. Dave's going to talk to us about doing business in South Lake and what it's all about, and bringing a personal touch to business in the community. But first, as everyone knows, we always begin with a good beer. So I'm going to have Mr. Colby reach over to his cooler. We're going to bust open one of our local beers. We'll start with probably something light, I would believe. Oh, they're ice cold. Sorry. If you guys are outside and it's a little warm out, sorry about that. All right. So Dave has brought in a delicious Champions Lager from our local Sun Creek Brewery right in downtown Claremont. They actually brew right on premises. They've got some restaurants there. And I guess they brew what? They have about a dozen beers there or something. And they're always doing something different.
There's quite a few.
You frequent there a lot?
Every once in a while I get
once in a while. All right. We're going to bust this open. And of course, we have our official Tiki Hut Central, the podcast glasses, direct from Minuteman Press. So if you need some glassware, you need some swag, you can always reach out to Minuteman Press right here in Claremont. Here we go, Lisa.
Thank you.
And we'll make sure to get Lisa on camera before she sips it so that we can see how she does with that. All right. Well, welcome to the show, Dave. Cheers. Lisa, cheers.
Cheers.
You can't reach that far. And let's give a sip.
That's not bad.
My sips are usually more than the average guy.
That's pretty good.
Like that?
I like this. Light,
I like
refreshing.
this. I could do this.
So this is a lager from Sun Creek Brewery. And this is our first beer of the night. Dave was kind enough to reach out to both the Sun Creek Brewery here in town and the Claremont Brewing Company, also in downtown Claremont for, I think we're trying a porter later, right?
Yeah, American porter.
We got a porter later. Excellent. All right, so that's our beer for the night so far. And again, like I said, I'd like to introduce Dave. He's the president and current CEO of the South Lake Chamber of Commerce. And from what I understand, Dave, you've been in the chamber business for quite some time. Why don't you tell us a little bit about that?
For almost 30 years, I've been working for different chambers of commerce here in South Lake for 5 years. Next month will be 5 years. We moved down here, brought my family down from upstate New York.
Wow, okay. And I understand you went to Bridgewater State.
I did.
And that's in Mass.
State College, southeastern part of the state, right between Boston and Cape Cod.
And that's where you're from?
Yes. Just a little bit west of Boston. I grew up in a town called Medfield.
Medfield. So there you go. So there's another New Englander on the show tonight. Of course, I'm a New Englander, and then Lisa is a local Groveland product. Went to South Lake High School.
A Groveland product. Yeah,
she's a Groveland product, and of course we let Lisa be on the show anyway, even though she is not a New Englander. I was reviewing some of your information, and I figured we would talk a little bit about you first. And you reside here with your wife Andrea and your kids Max and Madison. So
we live right here in Claremont.
Right in Claremont.
Yeah, we live not far from here.
Kids go to school here.
Yeah, Madison's a senior in high school this year, and Max is a sophomore.
A sophomore, and you had mentioned earlier Max is driving now.
Yes, he's driving. I'm not sure we're ready for him to be a driver, but he's a fully licensed driver.
Woo! So I guess soon you'll be looking for a second job to pay his car insurance.
Yes, I have to do something about my gray hairs.
Well, I mean, once you get gray hair, you have an option. Either you can dye it or completely shave it. And I don't know that shaving your head's always good living in Florida with the sun beating down on your head.
But it's fun. He's a good driver, very responsible kid. But we wait for them to get some freedom, and then they pull out of the driveway, and it's a little devastating. But he's doing great.
Well, so if that's devastating, it's got to be devastating that Madison's graduating this year from real life.
Yes.
And heading away to school.
Yeah, she's down to a couple choices right now, and she'll be going away to college. So she'll either be going a couple hours north or a couple hours south. We're not quite sure where she's going to go, but she is going to stay here in Florida. So I think we'll still see plenty of her, but she'll be away at school. She wants to be a teacher.
Oh, nice. Well, we can always use teachers, and In fact, I think what a lot of us do all the time. In fact, I think you teach really when you talk about business and business. Now, Lisa's daughter, originally, she was going to California. Then she shortened her trip to Texas. Now I think it's Gainesville or somewhere closer.
Hopefully.
So as far as she wanted, they always want to get away from home, but then they realize, wow, it's a long ride to get home. So how am I getting back home?
Yeah,
We're hoping to keep her kind of close to home.
we're thrilled that she wanted to stay in Florida. For a while, she wanted to go back north, and we were talking about that. But I think 2 years ago at Thanksgiving, she was cured when it was dark at 4:30. I said, I don't think I could do this again. This is tough.
Well, I mean, it is Florida, so it is sunny, and if I recollect correctly, you and Andrea are always playing on the water. You guys have jet skis, don't you? So you guys are on the local lakes, and
we love getting out in the water. We just really love everything about the South Lake community, being able to be outdoors year round.
Right.
The great thing about living, there was many good things about living up north, but being year round in the warm suits us better, I think.
So you're probably like me. So you're probably glad that you do not have to shovel snow.
Oh my God. Sometimes I would spend 1 hour just clearing the driveway so I could go to work.
Right. I hear you. I've shoveled many driveways many times. And I think as a kid, we used to make $5 to shovel somebody's driveway. And we were rolling in the money because the town I grew up in, the movie theater adjusted their prices for the movie based on the year. So in 1979, it was 79 cents to go to the movies. So we could go see the movie like 5 times for $5.
That's crazy.
So, but that's how it was. Now, in addition to your chamber work, I found somewhere that you interned at Disney World.
Yeah, that was the first time I really lived in Florida for any extended period of time. In college, I came down, did an internship at Disney World, and it was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed Central Florida, all different aspects, going to both coasts, and thought someday I might end up back here.
And here you are.
Yeah, my wife and we had talked about it. My wife went to school in Florida, so we had been talking about it, getting somewhere warm. And I'll never forget, it was a cold January day. We took the dogs out for a walk. It was one of those mornings when your face hurt. It was so cold out. And we said, we might start thinking about this sooner than later. And Andrea called me that day. She said, I don't know if you saw this job in Claremont, but there's a chamber job available. So, do you think you'd be interested? I said, sure. So I sent a resume in, and 3 weeks later, I looked at my phone, and it was Claremont calling me. And I came down for a job interview. I came down in February. So it kind of wasn't fair. I came down in February, and Andrea said, so what do you think? I said, I think I'm staying. You sell the house. I want to go back to the cold.
I understand completely. If I remember correctly, when Andrea came to town, I think the first event was a business after hours over at Ardmore Reserve.
Okay.
Because I remembered Andrea standing by herself, and I walked up to her, introduced myself, and I was probably one of the first people that she met, and I just welcomed her in, and we talked about the schools and things like that. So that's how far I go back with her. Wow. She may not remember that I was the first guy that approached her, and no, I didn't see if she was single. It wasn't important, but was
she blonde?
I saw her standing there, and I said, you know what? She seems to be, she's new. And one of the things in our local Chamber of Commerce is that we're always welcoming new people in. And I have very few business associates. Everyone becomes a family or a friend. And I think that's the great thing about South Lake. Yeah,
that's one of the things we love about this area, is that everybody is so warm and welcoming, more so than any place that we've ever lived. And I hear that time and time again. We have people that move to the area, they start businesses, and they say, we just can't believe what a welcoming group it is. And people do become their friends, and then also become people that are there to help them start their business. We had a business opening yesterday at a business called Home Instead. They came from California to open this business here, and Jim Hernandez, who's he owns it with his wife. And he said, I've been involved with a lot of chambers of commerce for many years, and he said, I've never had anybody other than this chamber come up to me and say, hey, I have someone I want you to meet. He said, it's amazing. He comes to events where people say, hey, I know someone that you can work with, and he said it's just an unbelievable experience. So I think that is unique here in South Lake.
Well, I agree. I mean, I think that without the friends and the acquaintances that I've met in 15 years of doing business in South Lake, I wouldn't be in business. So I think that plays a big role in it. And in fact, before you leave tonight, I have the Chambers thank you and envelopes here for you to take back to the office. So we do appreciate the business that the Chamber gives us as well. One of the things when you're in the public eye, you find more reasons to do volunteer work. And I was reading that you were very active for many years with the Salvation Army. So what was that experience like, and what was rewarding about that?
Yeah, I was the head of a service organization, our local Salvation Army. It was just a great job in the community. We ran a soup kitchen, provided educational programs, and just a phenomenal organization in helping people in need. So I've always been very community oriented, and through that, it's extremely rewarding. I spent a lot of time and effort doing that, but I feel I got more out of it because the people that I met enriched my life, and I made new connections. So it was really great being involved with that. Twice I was president of my Rotary Club up there. So I've always tried to be involved with the community wherever I've been.
I think that's a huge thing for anybody listening to the show now, or maybe you'll tune in later. I find a lot of times people, when they hear the word volunteer, they panic. Oh, I'm going to have to put time into this. And, I'm going to have to go do that, or I'm going to have to do this. And I can tell you by my years of volunteering in different organizations, just like Dave said, the reward that you get is so much greater than the effort that you give. I think that's the great thing about giving and doing. And one of the organizations that's dear to my heart in town is the Greater Claremont Cancer Foundation. And over the years, whatever they need, Kay Simpson reaches out to me and says, Ken, can we do this? Can we do that? And we've got the Boots and Bunnies coming up May 1st, another big event to raise money. And the nice thing about Lake County, South Lake County, the organizations that raise money, the money goes right back into the community. It doesn't go anywhere else. It doesn't go to the next county or the next state or whatever. It's right here. And I think that's huge.
Yeah, it's phenomenal. They do a great job with that organization. I'm very happy to be involved with some of the things that they do. And Kay, who runs that, is just amazing.
Yeah, she's absolutely phenomenal. One of the nicest people that you'll ever meet. If you ever go to an event around South Lake County and see Kay's name badge, Kay Simpson, say hi, tell her thanks for what she does, because she does a tremendous amount of work for people that are going through cancer, whether it's their family, themselves, individuals, and so on. So again, I think we're touching on the importance of giving back to community, which goes right back to what the Chamber does as far as all the things that the Chamber's involved with.
Yeah, so we're a network of about 700 businesses that are members of the Chamber, and we support all of those businesses. So we do that in many different ways, and we try to support them in business. We give a lot of referrals to businesses that are members of the Chamber, and we connect them in the community, connect them with other businesses, connect them with residents, and really try to give them the tools to grow their business.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more with that. I mean, so many times I see a post, somebody needs something, and there's always a Chamber member or somebody that's active in the community that says, hey, reach out to so-and-so. And then you'll see additional comments on social media. Oh, yes, they're great. They do a great job. They did this for me, that for me. And so it's really a community of friends. It's so different than a lot of chambers that it's all business and white shirts and ties. It's you're working with friends all the time.
Yeah, it's nice that we're small enough to be able to do that. Having 700 businesses, we're able to know all of our members. I have worked for larger membership organizations. When you're 1,500 members, that's a little bit harder. But here in the community, we're still small enough that we can connect with everybody and make those connections.
It's just fantastic. I mean, a lot of times we all go out in town. We all support local business, and Dave's going to talk more about that in a few minutes. But a lot of times, I can be sitting at a local restaurant with my wife, Lisa, and there's Dave Colby walking in, or there's Amanda walking in. There's all these different people walking in that we know through business. It's like your family, so you invite them to come sit down with you. We were at Claremont Brewing, and Kathy Batum, who is a Chamber member and a member of South Lake Business Leaders, she came in with her husband Charlie, and we're like, hey, we've got a table, and they sat down with us. And I think we were at the Claremont Brewing Company for 4 or 5 hours. By the time we left, we probably should have Ubered or called Dave, because Dave drives a Jeep, so he has extra room for us. But that's the great thing about the community.
We run into people everywhere we go.
And that's huge. Getting back to our beer here. How How are we doing on this beer? Do
Good.
we have something else that we're going to be?
Yeah, we have a porter, which that
Well, you-
one's from Claremont Brewing. It's a heavier, more full body beer. I really like this beer because I've gone with people to Sun Creek, and people who don't tend to drink craft beers, they say, "Oh, I drink Miller Lite." They drink something that's
I drink
lighter.
Bud Light.
Yeah, a Bud
So
Light.
this is close to
a
that.
Bud Light drinker says,
This
"Oh,
is
I don't."
good.
And so this Champions Lager is it's nice, light, crisp, and it's for someone who isn't quite ready to be more adventurous with their.
Yeah,
craft
it's
beer.
good.
I think it's great, but whenever I go to Sun Creek, I like the squishy IPA, which is good. And they used to have I think
Squishy.
they used to have the blonde ale.
Sun Squishy.
Sun
It's,
Squishy, that's it. Sun Squishy.
It's very, very good. It's probably their most flavorful beer, but it's also a high alcohol content. So you
That's probably why I like it a lot.
have to be careful with that one.
Well, I'm going to let Dave finish his lager, and then we're going to bust open this order that was kindly given to us by Claremont Brewing Company. And again, Claremont Brewing Company is another great venue locally. All of their food is made from scratch. Their brewery it's state of the art. It's a great place to hang out. They have live music most nights. And
You hold that up. That's cool.
wow, look at this. This is like for those of you that like to say good day and drink a Foster's, this is a big ass beer.
So this is 25
That's
ounces.
really cool.
And you can go in and pick any beer that's on the menu, and they will fill it up right there for you. So they ask you what you want, and then they'll
That's
label it
really
for
cool.
you.
Dave's going to bust that open for us. I'm going to sample it real quick. Lisa, are you still working on your glass there?
Yeah, I don't know if I.
You can just try a little bit.
Try a sip of this.
All right, hold on. I'll finish this off.
Well, it's like a Guinness.
It's like drinking coffee.
Yeah.
It's just
Coffee.
I don't like coffee.
Oh, stop it. Here, give me your cup. Gulp that down. You can't always have Bud Light. All right. This should be fun.
Tiny bit.
This is going to be cool.
Tiny bit.
Hang on. Let me just get the camera over
Oh,
there.
God.
Because Lisa, like I say, Lisa's a Bud Light girl. Or the only other man she's in love with is a guy named Morgan.
Captain Morgan.
Captain Morgan. So let's give this a taste from the Claremont Brewing Company. Cheers. Cheers,
It smells
girl.
like coffee.
Smells like coffee. Wow. You probably shouldn't gulp it, but it's pretty damn good. What do you
Not
think,
as
Lisa?
bad as I thought it would be by the look of it. Yeah, it's not bad.
Not bad.
It's good.
I kind of like it now. Now, from what I understand, aren't porters supposed to be room temperature, or is that? I mean, I don't know. I'm not a porter guy.
I drink all my beer cold.
Okay,
Um,
because there's only two kinds of beer, right? Warm and cold. So I was reading that you have been involved with a craft beer group. I was reading something somewhere, or maybe just like craft beer.
when I was up in New York, we did pull together and brought together many of the craft beer people and did some networking events for them. We had a lot of growth of local breweries, distilleries, and wineries when I was up there. So we did some events where we brought them all together and sharing best practices. It was pretty cool.
Well, that's fantastic. I mean, again, craft beer has just kind of boomed. I mean, I think the first craft beer that I remember was Sam Adams because didn't he put like a 6-pack in the back of his car and he was driving through the streets of Boston trying to get people to take his Boston lager or something, and now it's owned by a conglomerate, I believe. So beer seems to have played kind of a steady role in your life, like mine as well. Tell me about rugby kegs, because you played rugby.
I did.
And what's this rugby kegs thing? I mean, that sounds like, a lot of guys just lugging kegs around.
Well, rugby's a tough sport, and you sweat a lot, and you need to put some fluids back in your body after playing rugby. So try to always have something on hand, and a little water and a little beer.
Right. Well, there you go. So
It's like when you run a 5K. At the end of the 5K, they serve beer.
well, there's a good friend of mine that lives up in Pennsylvania, and she's extremely athletic. She runs every marathon that there is. Super fit. But every marathon that she runs, there's beer at the end, and I'm like, man, I got to run those marathons, or at least drive through those marathons. So.
Yeah.
I beer is an integral part of everyone's lifestyle, especially living here in Florida where it's hot and you're working in the yard, you're working around the pool, you want to have a cold beer. But this is a
Well, exercise helps you justify the
yeah, and like Dave said, exercise is important. And with these pint pluses, if you just lift these 10 times, you've burned 100 calories. So go ahead and enjoy it. Oh, and the nice thing here is look, they actually
They wrote on it.
they write on it. It has a freshness date that's written on. I guess the date that they fill it or the day they brew it. One of the two.
The day that they. Oh no, it looks like it's no. That's the alcohol. No.
Oh well, hopefully it is the alcohol content. 6.5.
It's not a date. It's the 6.5% alcohol.
Yeah, because we're not into June yet.
Okay, I thought it expired in June. What can I tell you?
And then the IBU is how bitter the beer is. So
Okay.
This is not a very bitter beer. This is 21.
I didn't know IBU. So that's a bitterness.
Yeah. So if you try an IPA or one of those beers, so next time.
Yeah, I mean, this isn't bad.
Next time you go into it, so for you, it would probably be good to keep it very low.
The bitterness, right?
Cool. Man, beer is great. Great way to start. So you mentioned earlier that Andrea found this town called Claremont, and so what was your what finally brought you to Claremont? What said this is where we need to be with my family and all that?
Just coming and visiting. We just really liked everything about Claremont. We were in a lake community in New York, so we would boat 6 months out of the year. We had to pull our boat out of the water and shrink wrap it and store it for the other 6 months. But we really liked that there were the lakes, there were the trails, and that there was actually some terrain here. So when we lived in Florida for a couple of years before, we were in West Palm Beach, and it was flat, and we could drive across state and really let go of the wheel because it was just flat and straight. So we thought it was really interesting here, and we're big Disney fans, so we like being close to Disney. We like being close to Orlando and being able to get to either coast in a short amount of time. So we felt it was kind of the perfect place to live. So.
Sweet. So there you go. So that's why everybody comes to South Lake County. There's so much to offer. What's the favorite thing that you enjoy doing in your time off? Because obviously the parks can be cumbersome and all that. So the first thing you think of when you get out of work, what do you like doing the best in town?
I like to jump on my bike. We moved to the community where we are because it's right on the trail. So being able to clear my schedule, jump on the bike, and just get out for at least an hour and just clear my head is one of my favorite things.
Well, and the bike trail is phenomenal because I believe that it starts at the boathouse.
Well, the middle point for coast to coast is going to be downtown Claremont. It's
right.
The middle of the whole thing. But right now, the end of the trail is down by South Lake High School. But that will will soon be going through Groveland and
all the way
to
the coast,
all the way over. So so I have a route to go from my house and to the end of the trail and back is about 20 miles.
Wow.
But you can go all the way through Orange County as well.
Yeah, I think all the way up to Apopka, if I'm correct. Yeah, maybe further. I've only gotten as far as downtown Winter Garden.
I've only biked as far as downtown Apopka. I haven't gone past that point.
Well, our show's really about beer, which we've already discussed, music and business. And we'd like to get into the business portion of the show. And one of the things that people hear regularly on the streets is buy local. So Dave, what does that really mean to the average person that's going out to the store?
Well, we encourage people to buy as local as possible, as often as possible. We think, first of all, you get a great experience. I mean, you can know the person who makes your food, makes your beer, provides any service, know your local printer. All those things are great to have that personal relationship and get the good product and service that goes along with that. So, we believe that the experience is superior. If somebody goes and they order something from a Vista print, they just, there's no relationship there. You're not knowing the person, you don't knowing the quality. But if we want to order something from you, we'll go over and we'll say, this is what we want to do. You'll show us a sample, and it's just a much more customized experience.
Personal.
Yeah, it's very, very personal.
Minuteman Press.
Thanks, Lisa. Appreciate that.
So we try to really walk the talk and everything that we do. We source things local. We work with our local businesses to provide. So we think that if you try to buy local, you can certainly find almost everything that you need
right.
on a local basis. You talked about community earlier. We think it's important for people to support the businesses that support the community.
Mm-hmm.
So these local business, whether you shop at Minuteman Press or any of our local businesses, those are the people that support all the local things that we love. So those are the people that are supporting our Little League teams. Those are the people that are supporting our local nonprofits. Those are the people supporting our local events. So the things that you really care about, why not support the businesses that are doing that?
Right.
Because if you go shop in downtown Orlando, that business is not supporting what we have here locally. So if you care about local, we really think you should try to build that local experience.
Yeah, I would have to agree with you 100% there. I think sometimes people are confused because there's local. I'll use as an example Goombas. My friend Frank owned Goombas and he runs Goombas, and it's not a franchise, and every dollar that they make goes right back into the community. And there are other great Italian restaurants, Carrabba's and Olive Garden and things like that. But I think that aren't those more of a corporate?
They are, but they are local. I mean, you have a local proprietor. Nanette does a great job with Carrabba's, and she's a local person who lives in our community who gives back. So being a chain does not mean that they're not community oriented. You can look at Chick-fil-A. Rocky does.
Phenomenal.
So he gives back to the community in many, many ways.
Love Chick-fil-A.
So you don't have to, only use locally owned. There's a lot of great people that own franchises. One thing that's really neat about South Lake is so many of the franchises are owned by local people.
Right.
That they're not so much.
And you too.
And me too. I don't know Rocky personally, but I do recall at one of the best ofs. Rocky received an award for everything that he's done for the community, and those types of things are to me are just massive. That although it's a franchise, and so is Minuteman Press a franchise, but we're all individually owned. I think a guy like Rocky really shows what you can do to enhance a community, to make a community better, and to bring more social awareness to some of the things that go on in the community.
Yes, Rocky was our Citizen of the Year.
That's right, Citizen of the Year.
He just does a tremendous job and supports community, gives employment opportunities, so many people, and what they do with charities and giving back and giving people opportunities to raise money through their stores is tremendous.
It's incredible.
I remember I was going to the church at South Lake.
Mm-hmm.
It started over right next to you where they have that new church.
Oh, yes.
They started there, and then when they found their new building over by Chick-fil-A, Rocky was feeding the entire staff, like everybody that had everything to do with building that building. He fed everybody every day until they were done.
I mean, that's incredible.
That's what I heard.
I think one of the other stories about Rocky, and I know we're talking about business people, was I believe when he shut down to remodel, if I'm correct, he paid the entire staff during that process.
He did.
And that, those are things
That's incredible.
Those are things that you don't get from a big box or from an overseas company like Vistaprint. All their profits go to the Netherlands, even though they have an office in Boston. But anyway, that's another story for another time. So I mean, it's absolutely huge what Rocky, as well as many other local business people, do for the community. What are the key activities? There are people listening that may want to start a business, people that may have a business that's been affected by COVID. They may have seen a decrease in business. What are some of the key activities you would recommend a local business owner be involved in to get back into the community and get back?
Well, there's resources available for people that are looking to start a business. There's some organizations we work with, SCORE, which is Service Corps of Retired Executives. They can provide some consulting free of charge for people. There's Small Business Development Center. And then there's local attorneys, local accountants, people that can help you do that initial work to get into business. So we're trying to refer people who want to get into business. There's also many people in our community that can mentor. Somebody wanted to get into a certain line of business. We had a meeting the other day, and Chuck Gainsford was saying, if somebody wants to get into an insurance business like he is, he could be a mentor. So there's a lot of people here that are very willing to share their knowledge. So we try to help people do what they need to do to get in business. And when somebody is in business, we encourage them to be a member of the chamber and take advantage of all the different things that we offer. We have a lot of different networking opportunities, educational opportunities, and we list all of our members, and we encourage people to patronize our members.
That's huge. And I don't know if you know, but Chuck used to be in the printing industry. So sometimes Chuck shows up at my shop just to smell the ink. He's like, "Oh, I just missed that smell." So.
I didn't know that, but it doesn't surprise me. Doesn't surprise me.
But another great man in the community, Chuck Gainsford. He's been here forever. Gainsford Insurance, and I think we see that quite frequently. Now, with the chamber, there are a number of great events, but many times when I get an email or like the next email 10 minutes later says the event is sold out. So what are some of the big events that a lot of members they strive to get to? What's the biggest event of the month, and then what are some of the other events?
The biggest event would be our business after hours,
Mhm.
And those usually have plenty of room to attend. We have different members host them. So Meets and Bounds will be hosting one at their new office here in Claremont, and it's a great networking opportunity. We have Rob Nichols will be playing.
Oh, wow.
Tomorrow night.
Everybody knows Rob.
Hey, yeah.
So there's usually food and drink. It's a great networking opportunity. It's just a very low key
Nice.
social thing to do.
What is that tomorrow night?
That's tomorrow night.
What time?
That goes from 5 to 7.
And where's the new office? Is it on Montrose? Or?
It's on Highland, so it's not far from the Fish House. You know, Highland
Mhm.
runs.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
50. So it's a stone's throw from the Fish House.
Oh, okay, cool. So there you go. So if you're curious about what the chamber does, or you just want to come out and say hi and maybe meet somebody or network, come on out tomorrow night. There's a big event. Everybody knows Rob Nichols that has seen him. He's great country artist and plays all kinds of music for everybody.
So that's a very social event. We have some things that are more structured. We have something called First Friday Chamber Connection. We have that event over at Claremont Brewing Company. We've been doing that as an outdoor event since September, and it's an opportunity for people to come. We give everybody a minute at the microphone to talk about their business and what it is that they're doing. It's just it's an awesome way to get to know a number
Nice.
of different people. So that's something that we do on a very regular basis. We also do our breakfast. We haven't been able to get back into the Claremont City Center, where we usually host breakfast for 150 people. We have not been able to do that since COVID started. We're hoping to get back there maybe in June of this year. But we've been using some smaller venues. So we're going to go to Sonny's Barbecue next Friday,
Oh, nice. Okay.
the 16th, and we will have a program there. It's an opportunity to meet with folks.
So there you go. I mean, being a part of the chamber, you get a lot of great insight on business, a who's who of business. You get fed, and hopefully you'll learn something, and hopefully you'll make friends with another business person. So great opportunities for things like that. You know, I can't stress enough to do those. I don't take advantage of them as much as I should, and sometimes I want to kick myself in the butt for not doing them. But I can attest to you that whenever I've gone to a Chamber of Commerce function, I've always met somebody new, and I've always generated at least a new lead. At least a new lead. Maybe somebody's talking to me after they've spoken to somebody else. So it's the only way to network in business, and the chamber does so many great events. But a lot of them are just sold out just because of the impact that you and Amanda and Shahanas do. I mean, it's three people that just do a tremendous amount of work. Plus, of course, you have the Blue Blazers, or we call them Blue Jackets. They used to be Green Jackets.
The ambassador.
So tell us about the ambassadors. What do the ambassadors do, and how do you become an ambassador?
So we have it's a committee of the chamber. We have 25 people that are ambassadors, and they're the people that welcome everybody to the event. So the chamber staff is there, but we also have the people in the Blue Blazers. And if you're new, that's who you need to connect with, and they will introduce you to people.
So again, it's just a way to meet and greet. Since you primarily work with small businesses, I know you work with the hospitals and some of the big organizations. When you talk to local business owners, what are some of the advantages that they tell you about owning a business, and what are some of the disadvantages that they run into owning a business?
Well, a lot of advantages are that they get to be part of the community, and I think a lot of entrepreneurs are people.
I hate that word. I can never say that word. Lisa busts my chops.
They're people who are happier working on their own than they would be working in corporate life, and they have the opportunity to provide great service in a great community, and just really love what they do, and the freedoms that they have running their own business are a lot greater than if they had chosen another path.
I think I've been in business a long time, so people always ask me, like, well, Ken, what's the best thing about being in your own business? And honestly, the first thing that always comes to my mind is I'll never walk in Monday and get laid off. But people have this I don't know if they misrepresent or this connotation that when you're in your own business, you're your own boss. And I have found just the opposite, because although I own my own business, my bosses, my employees, my employers are everyone that I do work for. Because if I don't provide to them, they're not going to give me other business. So I think some people say, I'm going to be my own boss. I don't have to answer to anybody or do my own thing. And to me, that's the first thing that comes to my mind, that, oh crap, now I have all of these bosses that need deadlines done, jobs done right, on time, so on and so forth.
Yeah, there's a lot of pressure. It's not for everybody, but there's a lot of responsibility. It's keeping a whole staff paid and having to make payroll and do all those things that come along with being in business. So there's certainly a lot of pressure, but most of the people that I know in business have been in business a number of years,
right?
And they love it.
Yeah. I mean, I love it. I wish I could get away more than I do, but it's always nice to go into work. Lisa will attest. I go in at 7:30 every day, whether I'm quiet or whether I'm jam packed. I like to get in early, get the day started, respond to emails, all of that stuff. So, I think that's part of being your own boss, is that sometimes you're going to work harder and put in more hours than if you just punch the clock.
And I think one of the great things about being in business too is you truly can impact the community.
Yes,
you can help grow the community, and that's one of the other things about buying local is that by buying local and supporting these local businesses, you can truly shape what our community is.
Right.
I say people vote every day on what we have in this community by how they shop. If they want us to have a dress store or a bookstore, they want different things. Well, your shopping patterns will dictate that, depending on what it is that you and your neighbors do. Those are the businesses that we will have, and you can also really help shape economically what it is that we have here in the community by shopping locally. Those dollars get spent time and time again. So when somebody goes to your print shop and spends money, you're going to spend that money at another local business. So those dollars being spent 5 to 7 more times in the community has a really large impact. So we're always encouraging people, think about what you can buy locally. Go to a local store. Don't just get on Amazon and
I heard there's a new bookstore that just opened.
There's a great new bookstore right in downtown.
Nice.
Who? Do we know the name?
Yeah, Sunshine Books. We did a ribbon cutting for them on Saturday morning.
I saw that on Facebook.
And tremendous. They do a great job. It's right across from our parking lot at the city center. So again, independent local bookstore, and
nice.
Really a passion of that family to get into being a bookstore. I couldn't believe we posted. Shauna's and I went over to visit them one day last week, and so we put a post on Facebook saying that this was coming, and immediately we had 234 likes and 108 shares of our post. I mean, people are just really, really excited to have a local bookstore.
Nice.
Now, that's incredible. If I remember in one of the Facebook posts, I think that in addition to books, I think they do seasonal. They're going to have seasonal gifts or
yeah, they have different things. I bought a coffee mug there. They have T-shirts. They have all kinds of things there. They have a lot of nice gifts too. So I saw some things that'll be great gifts for Mother's Day.
Wow.
So and then they
check them out.
They also do. I'm a big fan of audiobooks, and you can buy audiobooks through their website.
Oh wow. Okay. So money goes right back to the community that way.
So you can feel good about supporting a local business by buying your audiobooks through them.
Nice.
Well, like Dave said, he bought a brand new coffee mug. But I can tell you this: if you come on to the Tiki Hut Central podcast, you get a free 16-ounce full color beer or beverage glass to take home with you. So you actually get a clean one to take home. We're not going to wash that one for you.
And a hat if you wear a hat.
And a hat if you like a hat too.
16 ounces because mine keeps going down. Maybe there's a hole.
Well, there could be a hole in that. I use this for beer, but I also my passion is milk. And if there's something sweet in the house, I'll fill this up with milk and ice, and I'm in heaven. So it doubles as a milk glass as well.
I love milk. I didn't make a tuna. I was going to make a tuna sandwich the other day. My wife's like, "How come you didn't make it?" I said, "Because we didn't have any milk."
Yeah, I mean, who uses milk to make tuna? But I guess mayo is
well, no, I have to have the milk to go with.
Oh, okay.
Two separate things, but they go together.
Are you blonde, Ken?
No, I just like them.
But you need the noise.
Yeah, I'm talking about shopping locally. One of the things that I enjoy the most is at Christmas time. Everybody wants to run to the big box for their Christmas tree because it's less expensive. It's they load it in. But I'll tell you what, every year that I need a Christmas tree, I go see Kim and Sue at Kim's Cabbage Patch. While the trees may be a little bit more expensive at times, they are phenomenal trees. They last forever. You could probably replant them in January, and we
get a wreath too.
We get a wreath. We go every year, and
poinsettias.
And then all year long they have fresh produce and things, and they are as local as you can get, and they support the local businesses as well.
They're phenomenal. We get our Christmas things there. We also go there for pumpkins and whatnot. I get my tree every year up at the Citrus Tower, though, from Ben.
Oh, okay.
Ben Holman does it as a fundraiser. He and his wife have adopted several kids, and they
wow,
nice
as a fundraiser. So I'm able to support what they're doing by buying a tree. He drives up to North Carolina and brings a truckload back.
Wow.
But Kim and Susie at Kim's Cabbage Patch, they're phenomenal. They do a great job, and the products they have there, it's amazing.
Yeah, it's over the top. And they are about the friendliest gals that you'll meet. I remember, I guess it was a month or two ago, we had South Lake business leaders put on a carnival at Lake Catherine Blueberries, and Susie and Kim were dressed as lemurs. So if you're willing to put on a lemur outfit, but then again, I guess weren't you a bunny at some point? We're not going to talk about that.
Money for charity. I was convinced to dress up as a bunny. That was one of the more embarrassing moments in my life.
But if I remember, you were a cute bunny, and I think Chief Broadway danced across the stage as well.
Not with me.
Not with you. Not with you. Well, again, there's so many things that go on in Claremont. One of the things that has happened in the past 15 months is this COVID. When you speak to local business owners, how has it affected business owners? How are some of them rebounding and getting back in the groove to try and get business to where it was?
Yeah, I think people have adapted in different ways. It's affected everybody a little bit differently. I think some of the local businesses have been very creative in what they're going to do. Some local restaurants where they didn't traditionally do a lot of takeout. They
CBC was one of the first ones that did that. I remember that.
Yeah.
They formed a whole business around doing a lot of takeout. So it's interesting how creative people were, and there were some folks that relied on international travelers, and that was a lot tougher to overcome. But everybody did business a little bit differently, and a lot of people just really rose to the occasion. And I was very proud of our community, how much people were shopping local. So we did something through the chamber where we were giving out a gift card. We go to different local restaurants. We would buy a gift card every day and raffle that off. If people commented on Facebook to a post, then we would enter them in a raffle.
That's great.
Nice.
And then I was really impressed how many people did the same thing. So then they started buying gift cards and giving them to people. We had a nonprofit organization. They went out and they bought thousands of dollars of gift cards from our local businesses. So a lot of people were really into supporting community.
Yeah, that's amazing. And I'm going to put this out there. This is a little known secret, but the South Lake business leaders have capitalized on this thing. So when the South Lake business leaders put on an event, they reach out to local businesses to sponsor the event, whether it's free food, free drinks, maybe it's plants, whatever it may be. They get local businesses to contribute to the event because most of the events are for raising money for charity. And so as a member of South Lake Business Leaders, one of the things that we do is when an organization donates to an event, we then go out and buy gift cards from that organization. So it works hand in hand. Yes, they're supporting community, but then the community is in turn supporting them. And I think that's huge.
Yeah,
I don't think you see
it
that.
is, and really just trying to get people out there patronizing, recognizing businesses that they may not have gone to before. We're doing something twice a month. Let's do lunch. And we pick a different restaurant twice a month, and we just encourage our members to come out and do lunch. So next Tuesday we'll be at Carrabba's, and then 2 Tuesdays after that we'll be over at Chefing It Up in Groveland. So we're moving around different places, just encouraging people to come out and visit places that they might not have done before.
That's massive. And I know that, again, I hate to mention South Lake Business Leaders again, but we've had a couple of luncheons at Carrabba's. And yes, they're a franchise, and it's Darden and what have you. But we usually have a group of about 30 or 40 members. And Nanette put out a spread for everyone. There was bread, there was mozzarella sticks, there was fried calamari, there was shrimp. Who puts out shrimp for free? So I think getting back to what Dave said and supporting local, there are so many businesses out there that are willing to support us as individuals that we should definitely support that.
Yeah, they've done a great job, and they employ a lot of local people.
Right. Well, what's coming up in the future, Dave, with the Chamber of Commerce? Is there anything on the horizon that the Chamber has maybe some goals set for?
Well, we have our signature events are some of the bigger community events that we do. One of the things that we missed last year was our Taste of South Lake.
Oh God.
A great event, opportunity for just $25. You can come out and taste food from 30 different businesses. We have some business exhibitors there. A really great event. Unfortunately, we weren't able to do it, but we're gearing up to do that again in November. So
Nice.
so we're optimistic. A lot of people getting their vaccine shots, and so we're looking forward to doing that. In September, we're going to do Sips and Salsa. It's a program that we do, an event downtown that we partner with the city on. It's a great opportunity to come out, great live entertainment and drinks, and it's just a real fun time. So we're getting back into doing some of our community events, some of our other signature events. We do our teacher appreciation breakfast.
Oh, that's massive, right? That's like almost like a 2-day event, or is it? Or
yeah. So my first year, it was 1,600 teachers and in one location. Then after that, it was we decided to make it a 2-day event. So we turned it into 800 teachers each day. So we do the elementary school one day, and then the next day we do the middle and high school teachers. Last year, of course, we were not able to do an in-person event. So what we did is we were able to raise some funds and go out and give each school a $500 donation.
Wow.
They could do their own food, their own welcome back for their teachers, and then some other prizes that they could raffle off. So we were able to do that for 20 local schools. And we're going to do that format again this year. We're still not able to to bring all those people together, but we're doing that. And then our business awards that you mentioned earlier, we're going to be doing that in October. So we'll be doing the South Lake Business Awards again.
Hopefully we'll be at Bella Colina. We missed it last year because of COVID.
And then our golf tournament is back. We also have an opportunity for people to come out on Tuesdays. We do something. We do Business and Birdies, opportunity for people to come out. We're doing it at Green Valley right now. We moved that around to different local courses for just $15. You can come out and golf 9 holes and meet some other local business people.
There isn't enough time in the day for me to play 9 holes. if there isn't a windmill or a clown face, I'm chasing balls forever.
Maybe we could.
Boy, oh boy.
Maybe you could do 3.
Maybe 3. 3 is probably my limit. You know, whenever I've played golf, I have to invest in dozens of golf balls for a round because it's the only thing I can't seem to do is hit a damn ball. But you know, that's a story for another time. I feel like I'm always pimping things that Dave mentions. But to bring up Taste of South Lake, I think I've been to probably 4 or 5 of those Taste of South Lakes. And while it sounds like $25 maybe a lot for people right now, it is by far one of the best events that you can go to. And if you can only go to one event during the year, that event is amazing because there's got to be 30 or 40 restaurants, all with food samples. Lake Ridge Winery is there with wines. I think the Oyster Bar was doing, somebody was doing margaritas. and I think a few people were doing margaritas, but after like 3 or 4, it didn't matter. The Oyster Bar does their clam chowder. I mean, the event is just massive, and the support from the community is amazing, and it's a tremendous event. You got to do Taste of South Lake, and it's always right on the water as well. So sometimes it's 150 degrees out, other times it's 60.
Usually pretty good.
It's usually pretty good though, as long as it doesn't rain. But there's massive tents. There's a lot of different vendors, and again, they're the local businesses. So you may find a travel agent, you may find an insurance company, medical, all that type of stuff. But there is plenty of food and drink.
Yes, absolutely.
So it is a great event.
If anybody has any questions for Dave, feel free to
you can just call in.
Call that number at the bottom of the screen, and we'll take your call.
Or Mom, if you're watching, you can call in and at least say hi, so we know that the phone's working. So that's the nice thing about being live is that we can kind of snake and our way through the evening. One of the things you mentioned earlier was that there are workshops for people that are maybe thinking of going into business, or maybe people that are new in business. Are those workshops open to anyone, or do you have to be a chamber member, or can you just reach out and say, hey, I'm new to the community, I'm thinking of doing this?
We usually let people who are interested in the chamber come to a couple events.
Mm-hmm.
We had somebody come to our event on Friday. So yeah, we just want to check it out. So we usually welcome in people so they can kind of see what the offerings are. And a lot of our educational programs come from our members. So members are able to kind of dwell into their expertise of what it is and what they share. We have a fascinating program. It can be really on anything.
Wow, so we have a call-in guest. Who's on the line tonight?
Your father.
Oh well.
I figured I better buzz in while you're going through all the different foods and all the different places that are offered there. So I'm certainly a great moment for listening to what's going on there.
Well,
especially Lisa's laugh. I mean, that's
Well, you're on live, Dad. So do you have a business question? Hey, let me ask you a question. You've been in business before, and you've been involved with local chambers. What was your experience, with Children's Wear and Port Jefferson, and working with the local chamber, other businesses? What was your experience?
Well, I think the chamber helped give you direction. I think the chamber and all of its members, and there were quite a few members from different business areas and different specialty businesses. So it offers you a tremendous amount of exposure. It gives you an idea of whether you're in the right direction, and you're offering people in the community and the communities that surrounded us, from Fort Jeff to Mount Sinai to all the different areas, exactly what they want, if they were satisfied. So the chamber serves as a very important a place to get feedback and to learn exactly how the chambers function, the organizational structure, and certainly directed our business. It gave us an opportunity to see where other areas were developing, and we're able to expand into other areas like Setauket and further out east, and make certainly more acquaintances with some very substantial real estate investors and those that owned a lot of real estate properties, such as Stoller Associates. So,
but if I remember correctly, Dad, one of the organizations, or maybe two of the organizations that you supported in business was the Boy Scouts and Girl Scouts. I can be incorrect because it was I was 3 years old, but wasn't that also a part of your business, and did that develop relationships for you?
Well, that built a tremendous amount of relationships because we were exclusive Boy Scout, Cub Scout, Girl Scout, Brownie distributors throughout all of Suffolk County. So we had exclusivity in the larger way, where there was one other place that had a small kind of kiosk type of setup for them, but we were the main Boy Scout, Girl Scout place that was able to represent Boy Scouts and Girl Scouts the way they wanted to be. And that's why when you and your brother and your sister helped in the store, you were able to get a sense and a feel of everything that was going on, when there was a lot of interaction with all of these different young people that were looking to get into these types of organizations. And
some real nice pocket knives too, if I remember.
Well, yeah. I mean, everything and anything. Everybody wanted the badges. Everybody wanted the awards. Everybody, even you, wanted to be in the Derby. You know,
The Pinewood Derby.
Self-made race car, right? The Derby.
Oh, you did that?
I came in third place. I had a trophy, but I think it was my second wife that discarded all my trophies. But anyway, look, Dad, let me run. Thanks for calling in.
Take care. Have a great show. It's a great show, and
all right,
on the same track. And Lisa, keep laughing for background. That works well. That's
Will do.
All right.
Thanks for calling in.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Love you, Dad. Bye.
I love you too.
Dad's a smart guy.
Well, I don't know about that, but yeah, so I learned at an early age it was important to be a part of the community. What else you got for us, Dave, regarding the chamber? You've mentioned some good upcoming events. We're hoping to do Best of South Lake again, which is a phenomenal. It's like a flagship event.
Yeah. And the chamber really is a customized experience for people. We encourage people to come meet with the chamber staff and find out what's right for them. Everybody, wants to participate in it in a different way. The nice thing I think about the Chamber of Commerce is you can pick and choose what it is that you want to attend. I've been involved with Rotary and other service clubs over the years, and there's attendance requirements, and you need to come. And so, I mean, the nice thing I think about the chamber is you can come when it's convenient. You can come seasonally. You can, it really depends on whatever it is works for you. And then also, I encourage people to think of the chamber staff as an extension of their business.
Absolutely.
You're looking to make a connection in the community. You really want to meet this person, or you have a problem you're trying to solve. Maybe we need to get an elected official involved with something. We're really here to create a customized experience for our members. So, it's not one size fits all. Everybody has their own set of unique issues, and we try to help people overcome the obstacles and be successful.
That's fantastic. And again, I can't say thanks enough for Dave being here tonight, because he's just a wealth of information, and it's information that anybody out there listening or talking to somebody can use. They can reach out to you at the chamber, right? It's if you look at the bottom of our screen, or if you're listening to audio, then you can't look at the bottom of the screen.
southlakechamber-fl.com.
You can go right there, southlakechamber-fl.com. You'll find Dave's contact information. You can reach out to him anytime, and he'll be more than happy to get back with you. Mention that you saw him on the show. We're gonna take a minute, and we're gonna get into the fun part of our interview process, which none of our guests really know what we're doing until we get there. So here we go, Dave.
All right.
Favorite pizza toppings, because we had pizza tonight, and why?
I'm gonna have to say pepperoni and pineapple.
Oh.
Wow. No, I thought everybody's like ham and pineapple.
Pepperoni
and pineapple.
I haven't had that.
Well, there you go. Okay, pepperoni and pineapple. Well, there you go. So if you invite Dave for dinner like we did, we at least had the pepperoni. We could have had the pineapple, but usually anything with pineapple at Tiki Hut Central involves an umbrella and rum.
We did have pineapple juice in a little can.
We did have pineapple juice.
Dump that on the pizza.
We're going to play a game called This or That, and you're going to pick one or the other.
All right.
Steak or seafood?
Steak.
Oh, yeah.
Rock music or country music?
It's tough, but in this point of my life, I'm going to go country.
Country? Is that you're in Claremont?
I love country.
I've converted him too.
Yeah, she's converted me.
He's really liking it.
It's fun.
They say when you play a country record backwards, you get your car back, your dog back, and your girlfriend back, and you don't have a car. I'm sorry, a truck. So, well, I have a truck, a dog, and a girl, so I guess I'm okay. Salt water or fresh water?
That one's tough too, but I'm going to go salt water.
Salt water. A beach vacation or mountain vacation?
Beach.
So you love the sun. You love to play in the sun. You jet skiing and whatever else you can do. Do you snorkel or scuba or anything like that? Or have you tried stand-up paddleboarding yet?
Yeah, I do. Mostly in salt water. I'm not too good with alligators, but I got a jet ski out here, but I don't swim in the lakes.
Well, the reality is that during the day, all of your gators are up getting sun because they're reptiles. So unless you're going in the water early in the morning or at dusk, you're not going to get eaten.
But I'm a Northeast guy. I'll take my chance with sharks. I'm okay with sharks all day, but gators, no way.
But I will tell you, if there's a nest around and you're near the shore, you got to be careful.
Got to be careful.
Yeah.
So, Red Sox or Yankees?
Red Sox.
This interview is now over. No, just kidding. I'm a diehard Yankees fan, and I know coming from Massachusetts, it's Red Sox all the way.
I thought we weren't going to talk about religion.
Yankees are my religion. I've actually been to Fenway quite a few times. The company I worked for, whenever we traveled around the country, we'd always go to a ballpark. So I've been to the Fenway, so the big green monster and all of that. But, I'm a Yankees fan through and through.
Well, nobody's perfect.
Yeah, I know. It sucks.
Your mom says, sorry, no pineapple on pizza.
Yeah, I know. Well, that's my mom. Hey, if you could turn back time and talk to your 18-year-old self, what would you tell yourself?
Don't sweat the small stuff.
Don't sweat the small stuff. And our final final question for tonight: if you could have a billboard with anything on it, what would it say and why?
We did it.
We did it. And I hope that's not in reference to being married. So what is we did it?
We just did
it.
Everybody's overcome a lot of things.
We did it
last year, and we did it.
We did it. So there you go. So that's some great stuff from Dave Colby, again, President and CEO of the South Lake Chamber of Commerce. We'd like to thank him for coming out tonight. It was a great show. Thanks for being here, Dave.
Thank you.
Hopefully your information got out there. That was all kinds of good stuff. Yeah. Thank you, man.
Appreciate it.
My pleasure. Lisa, let's say goodbye and aloha from Tiki Hut Central and shut us down.
Bye, everybody.